Hello bloomers, thank you for joining me here again today. If you're new here, hi, my name is Chantal, and in today's video I would like us to talk about the cost, the pain, the price of change, the price of growth, the price of progress. As you begin to pursue your dreams, live out your purpose, take steps to personally grow and develop, it will cost you. There will be a price that you pay. At the beginning of this series, I shared with us some of the misconceptions that we have about finding your purpose. And one of them was that when I find purpose, my life will suddenly become a bed of roses. And that is far from the truth. But I equally do not want to scare you, because I know there are people who have also created a strange atmosphere around this concept of growth and development and change that gives off this impression that it is so hard to almost be impossible. I'm only pointing these pains out to you so that when you do encounter them, you will not be caught off guard, get knocked off your path, wondering what's happening to you. You would be able to recognize them and deal with them accordingly. The first is the pain of unlearning the familiar. Mike Folliard said, we as human beings are very good at learning new things, but we are very bad at unlearning things that are not true. And then Chris Didi, a professor in learning technologies at Harvard, says intellectually you get it. You really want to unlearn, grow, and be successful. But emotionally and socially, it's very difficult, because it feels like you are making a fundamental change to your identity, to who you really are. And I get it, because all that we have learned up till now has contributed greatly to our present mindset, to our beliefs, to our actions. And so unlearning could feel almost like you are losing yourself, the self that you know. But in the real sense of it, you are finding your true self. If you're used to the theory that the only path to success is to go to school, get a financially stable job, get married, and then have kids, it's going to be very difficult for you, both emotionally and socially, to see it any different, even if other paths are put in front of you, and especially if people are still judging and measuring you based on that path that you knew. And if you grew up believing that being loved and accepted is tied to your performance, then you need a lot of unlearning in order to know that you do not need to perform and impress in order to be accepted and to experience true love. If you're used to believing that you're a bad and selfish person if you say no to someone, then it will be a painful process of unlearning to come to that place where you can set healthy boundaries and be okay with it. Now, I'm not implying that every old thing is a lie and every new one is true, because there are a lot of new things that are being taught out there, and I'm so afraid of the amount of unlearning that may have to take place again a few years down the road. And I'm not also saying that we should unlearn and make room so that we can fill it up with every new idea and every new theory that is out there, even if it is good, because there's also this shiny object syndrome that is getting all of us nowadays. You know, this idea is good, this theory is good, this one is good, we just want to get everything, and then we fill ourselves up again with things that we may have to go through that pain of unlearning them all over again. And so there'll be pain in unlearning, and that's okay. You'll experience those internal struggles and conflicts, the external social conflicts, but this is a very important step as you start off on your growth journey. Next is the pain of uncertainty. It's so scary to replace the easy, the comfortable, the familiar with the hard, the uncomfortable, and the unfamiliar. And this is another misconception we have about finding purpose. We believe that finding purpose means I now have the complete roadmap from start to finish. But sorry, there's a lot of uncertainty, not just at the beginning, but at different stages along the way. A few weeks ago, I put up a short video on my Instagram and my Shanti Bloom Facebook page, encouraging us to dream big, but to not be ashamed to start small. And I really love the comments that somebody made, I think it was on Facebook. He said, at times it's not just the shame of starting small, it's also the fear of what will people say if it doesn't succeed. And I think this fear will even be much greater if this path you're taking is the unconventional path, right, to success. So there will really be that fear, like, what if it doesn't work out? People are like, well, we told you, well, what did you want to prove? But you know, I think that comment just really points to that aspect of uncertainty. When you start to chase your dreams, pursue your purpose, you start off on a growth journey. You don't really see the end from the beginning, and so that uncertainty can really be scary. At times you only see 2 steps, 3 steps, at times even just the first. At the time I recorded my very first video on YouTube, I had no idea what the second, third and fourth video was going to be all about. Yes, I knew what my message was all about. I knew what I wanted to share on this channel, to whom I wanted to reach out to, but to have all the video titles all mapped out, I had no idea. But because I had the first step, I stepped out in faith. I was not sure how I was going to look like on camera. I was not sure how I was going to even edit that video when I'm done recording it. I was new to editing, new to everything. If I give you the details of my first recording and editing, you're going to laugh out. I made every mistake that you can do while recording and every possible mistake you can do while editing. But that did not make me give up. And from that first step, the second became clearer, the third. There have been times on this journey where it's like I can see far, far ahead. And then there are other times that I take one step and it's like I just meet a brick wall and I'm like, what next? Where next? And so uncertainty is not just something you are going to meet at the beginning of your journey. It's going to be along the way. And so if at this time you're already giving up because of uncertainty, then you can make it all along the way. Because uncertainty will always bring about fear, and that fear can keep you stagnant. You feel like, I don't know what step is next. I don't want to take any risk. I don't know what I can meet in the dark, so I'm just going to stay right here. Or it can bring self-doubt, and self-doubt will not just make you stay there. Self-doubt will make you give up. You're going to make mistakes. If it is your first time being a mom, a dad, a wife, a sister, a brother, a businessman, being in school, starting something new, if it's your first time sitting in front of a camera to record, you are going to make mistakes. You may even make a fool of yourself, and that is okay. You are going to learn from it, and then you're going to move on. We're often tempted to believe that those who are more experienced or far gone into the journey do not feel fear, or they never ever face self-doubt, but that's not true. Actually, the further you are in the journey, or the higher you are, the greater the fear of falling, the greater the fear of making a big fool of yourself. All they have done is that they have learned to do it afraid, to go even with that self-doubt knocking at the door. But I'd like to say here that the more the uncertainty, the more the need for hope, the more the need for faith, the more the need for trust, the more the need for total surrender to God Almighty, the one who sees the end from the beginning, the one who called you in the first place. The next pain is that of unfair judgment. As you head on this growth journey, you will experience a lot of love and support from people, but you equally experience a lot of judgment, unfair judgments and rejection from people, backlash, hatred, misunderstanding. Some people will criticize you just because they misunderstood you. They misunderstood something you said, something you did, or your way of doing things. They may misunderstand you, and so they're going to criticize you. Sometimes down the road, they too may go through their own growth journey, and then they start to get and understand you, and sometimes it may just stay like that. And there are some people who would criticize you not because they misunderstand you, but because they have already been waiting for you to give them a reason to criticize you. Just like the case of Daniel. Daniel didn't do anything wrong, but they were going around trying to find out where he must have made a mistake, so that would be a license, it would justify them taking out that hatred card, that criticizing card, whatever they wanted to put on you, that would be like their excuse. So you're going to find such people along the way as well. And then there will be other people who they don't misunderstand you, they get you very well, and so they find it hard to criticize you. But what they're going to do is that they're just going to pull back, because this new you, where you're going, what you're saying, or what you're becoming is not comfortable for them. And I'm not going to go too deep into this, because we're going to look at purpose and relationships and friendships in another video. But what I will say here is that if you constantly shape what you want to do and say to fit into a box that will be liked and accepted 100% of the time, then you may quickly lose yourself, lose your message, and lose your way. But if you stick to what you believe is your dream, your assignment, and go as you have been sent, Yes, you're going to experience that pain of rejection. You're going to experience some pain of, insults, sometimes directly or indirectly, but you're going to be left with that joy, that peace within, that true sense of fulfillment, because you're on the right path. Something that can help you during these painful moments is to remember that for every one hater, there are many more people out there who love you. For any one person that is competing with you or trying to bring you down, there are many more people out there who want to support you and build you and add to you. And for every one misunderstanding, there are many other people out there who get you, who truly, truly get you. But even better is for you to take your eyes off yourself and put it on your assignment and the people that you're serving, because to be honest, at the end of the day, it's really not about us. The last pain I would like to talk about is the pain of hard work and less leisure. Growth is a continuous process that requires desire and then motivation, and then for motivation you have plan and strategies, and then willingness to grow and to improve. Sometimes the desire is there, but then the motivation is not there, or you have the motivation but then you don't have the plan and the strategy, or you have the plan and the strategy but then the willingness is not there to go ahead, or then maybe you are lacking some skills. It's layers upon layers. It takes a lot of discipline and hard work to get the job done. Have you not stepped into your purpose yet because you are just so afraid of the work that it's going to take? Or have you started but then you've given up because you feel like, it's hard work and you don't have what it takes? There are yet others who have not given up, but they have just settled for less. Like, I'm just going to stay here, I won't push any further because it takes a lot out of me. And there are yet others who have just digressed, right? Just left from that path because it feels narrow, to a path that is wider and feels easier, even if it does not give them that sense of fulfillment, that sense of purpose. There's pain in progress, people. There is pain in change, there is pain in growth, but it's a sweet pain. It's like the painful journey of a pregnant woman from conception till delivery. She looks forward to that pain at delivery, not because she enjoys it, but because she knows what lies on the other end, on the other side of that pain. She's able to put up with the length of time that it takes from conception to delivery because she knows what lies on the other side of the pain. She's able to put up with the cravings. Now she has to learn to love new things, and she's beginning to hate the things that she loved. This is almost like the unlearning that we spoke about. She's able to put up with the aches and pains and the money that she has to spend to prepare for this coming baby, to buy herself new larger size clothes. That is the hard work that we're talking about, but she's able to put up with that because she knows what lies on the other side of that pain. The uncertainty of the journey and its outcome is so great, but she's still willing to go through that journey because of the hope of what lies on the other end of that pain. So yes, there is a pain in progress, there's pain in change. It's going to cost you, but it's all worth it.